Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world, and welcome back to the internet's favorite smoke sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys on this beautiful little Tuesday. How the hell are we all doing? Are we all hanging in there? I feel like the chaotic energy just keeps building and keeps going. So strap in, do the best you can, try and stay as emotionally secure as you possibly can. This is not the time to crash out. This is not the time to release all your secrets, okay? We have a Mars retrograde going on right now in Cancer, which is causing people to be a little bit more testy, a little bit more aggressive than they honestly should be. We have a lot to catch up on. The most important thing, not having nothing to do with me and everything to do with the TikTok ban. Yes, what the fuck was that? So last time we talked, it was still kind of up in the air, like, are they gonna do it? Are they not gonna do it? There was rumors going around of maybe they're going to stop it, maybe they are going to cancel it, who knows? It's gonna happen this day. It's not going to happen this day. This like back and forth energy, which is just so toxic and draining. Talk about a negative situationship. Like, I don't need that with my comfort apps, okay? It just generally doing the most. It's Tuesday, so we've been through a full swing of emotions recently. Is it going to be banned? It won't be banned. It'll be banned at midnight, actually 8:30. Okay, now it actually is banned. I thought I had until midnight, so best believe I had Sunday off. I was scrolling my little heart away, taking in as much content as possible because genuinely, I thought it was going to be gone for quite some time. I thought it was going to be like, poof, disappear. She is done for. And I talked about this last time. I was kind of happy about it. Like, listen, you could say grew up on TikTok. I gained my recognition or most of my followers. I'm sure you guys, most of you guys have seen me on TikTok as well. And I thank TikTok for that. I am appreciative of the growth that it gave me, of the creative ability that it, offered me, of the outreach that it offered me. But you have to understand when the cons outweigh the pros. If I'm being honest, I haven't posted there in like 2+ years. On my main account, which most of you guys probably found me on, which is Smoke Set Shoddy, I haven't posted there since like maybe 2022, maybe 2023. So long ago though. And then on my spam account, which I do post like quote unquote a little bit more regularly, like maybe once every other month, not posting there that often. Genuinely just a consumer of the app mostly. So I understand all of you other consumers. And there was like an air of panic when it was being taken away. And I feel like in two avenues. There was the air of panic from the consumers who were like, well, what am I going to do with my 8 hours of screen time every day that I'm just scrolling? What am I going to do for my escapism now? It was sort of that kind of panic. And then obviously the panic of people who have money involved, whether it's small businesses or you're an influencer and you do all of your partnerships, like your job is TikTok. We saw a lot of that panicking too. In conjunction with what we have going on in the stars, considering the Mars and Cancer, we also saw a lot of people kind of coming out of the woodworks and spilling their guts for literally no reason other than like one last chance at having clout on the app, which is like not worth selling your soul for maybe 1 million likes. Like, girl, you're not going to get paid for that anyways. Like, why are you spilling all your secrets? Why are you basically throwing in your career? But it brought people out of the woodworks. It showed us who they truly were, which I am thankful for. But also, like, that was crazy and cuckoo a little bit. Overall, people were panicking. People were like, what the fuck's going on? And I thought I had until midnight. And then 8:30 rolled around. I was elbow deep in a crab boil, Me and my boyfriend's favorite thing recently has been crab boils. Listen, we had one for New Year's Eve and we were like, oh wow, this is fantastic. Why have we not been getting this more often? So we got it again on Sunday. We were like elbow deep in this hot ass butter. I pick up my phone after eating. It's gone. I'm sorry. This app has been banned in the United States, along with some heavy propaganda of we're working with President Trump. We'll get into that. Not only did they ban TikTok, but they banned CapCut. That is the one thing that I'm really pissed off about, because I use that app for like almost all of my editing. Like if you've seen any of my recipe videos on Instagram, I specifically use that app for editing because it's just so streamlined and so easy. I love it. It's fantastic. It's so user friendly. I'm very appreciative for apps who really take into account the average person, and maybe not like a person with a arts and editing degree. Like, no, the average user can use this. Adobe Premiere is just so fucking complicated. It will take me like months to learn how to use it. CapCut was so seamless, so easy. When I tried to open that app and it was banned, what the fuck? That was where the true heartbreak was. But TikTok was banned, and genuinely, I feel like I felt a collective sigh of relief. There is a understanding with everybody who uses the app that maybe it's not the healthiest relation that we might have, you know? Like, sure, you can say you get creativity on there, you find new ideas, new inspiration, new travel plans, new outfit ideas. Sure, yes. But overall, like I said, the cons kind of outweigh the pros when it comes to our lives being taken up so much with this phone addiction, with this scrolling addiction. And I do think TikTok introduced that to us like never before. On Instagram, I can only scroll for so long. On Pinterest, I can only scroll for so long. On Tumblr, I can only scroll for so long. But TikTok, hours seem to mesh into each other, and you just lose so much of your time. And I think even though it was short term, literally maybe 14 hours, what the fuck? But as soon as it came back, everybody was kind of like, oh, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing now, huh? Listen, I raised you all to be smart and aware. If you're going to sit here and scream and shout and jump up and down thinking Trump, then I really need you to find a new podcast. I really do, because obviously you've heard zero of the words I'm saying. We are all basically just pawns. I need you to understand that. And I don't want you to like succumb or feel the boot on your neck so much that you just like cooperate. I just need you to have a little bit of class consciousness and awareness. I think this mediocre attempt at a power struggle really opened people's eyes. The Donald Trump dick sucking notification every time you open the app is a clear sign of that. Like, you might as well zip him up when you're fucking done, bitch. It's like when a parent takes away a favorite toy or a privilege from a screaming child. It's to show power. Hey, look at what I can do to you. The data means nothing. They already collect so much of it from every other platform thanks to Meta or Elon Musk. But thank God people are realizing, wow, they really think they can fuck with us. At the end of the day, everyone came back, but I think they wish they were gone longer. I saw so many videos that were like, you know, I was just about to open that book, or I was just about to change my life, but they just fell back into TikTok. Like, oh, I wish it was gone longer. I could have gone, you know, like a week. I could have actually taken some time, like 14 hours. Girl, that's nothing, you know, that was just overnight. Truly for me, I was not going to miss TikTok. You can find that content everywhere else. We did see people kind of start heading to Reels and heading to other platforms. And if that's what we were left with, people would have adapted and started using that. Sure, my monkey brain addicted to colorful videos and cute sounds is going to miss the app for obvious addict reasons. But the nostalgia of it all was what I truly was going to miss. I did go back through all my old videos, and it's crazy to see how much I've grown. Like, especially on my other account, I first started posting on TikTok when I literally post breakup with my ex. I was in the car sobbing driving home. So funny. And seeing how much I have grown from like that Molly rat girl phase into this beautiful grown woman that I truly am was inspiring. Taking the time to like go back and see all those videos, see what I'm doing, like it's crazy to see how much I've grown. And I miss that I didn't make more content in the recent years because it truly was like a video diary. It was very cathartic when I was consistently posting from a creative outlet. So for me, the band did kind of have like a positive sort of rewiring of my brain. We're all pawns. Like, bitch, you have to realize that. Like, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump saving the world and everything to do with a power. They want to show that they have power over you, that they can do this to you. Please, please be aware of the narcissistic tendencies. You have to be smart, especially during this time. I think it also was kind of the wake up call most people needed of how addicted they truly are to this app and how much the power struggle within themselves is when it comes to constantly using an app or constantly escaping into something. I actually did, if you want to join the Patreon, I did kind of an astrology update talking about everything that's going on, such as we're finally in Aquarius season, Venus is in Pisces, Mars is in Cancer. When I was talking about it, I was like, I really don't see anything in the stars signaling that like TikTok is going to come back or that there's going to be a big shift. And I think that was because it was gone for such a little amount of time that it truly made no difference. Like there was no big astrological happening that was pointing to any sort of big change or big movement. And safe to say, this short-term ban was not powerful enough. It did not have the power behind it that maybe the people who implemented it were idealizing to happen. Especially with us being in Aquarius season, like focus on where you're pouring your cup. What are you filling up? What truly fills you up? Where are you flowing into? What is serving you? What is not serving you? The Aquariuses that I have met, especially like I've dated an Aquarius, so like I get it. When they're like truly a healed version of themselves or like a self-confident version of themselves, there is that negative tendency that some people might experience where they feel like maybe Aquariuses are too self-involved. But personally, I think there's a lot to learn from that. And I do think there is a power in understanding what you want and going after it no matter what. So during Aquarius season, please be aware of the relations and the attachments that you do have. What are you pouring your cup into? Is it truly filling you back up? Is it a worthwhile relationship? What do you want? How do you want to adjust your life? How do you want to live your life? And how can you move forward? I do think this will kind of be the breath of fresh air that maybe most of us needed to have that self-confidence. And with Mars and Cancer, like we saw everybody spilling their guts and their secrets and their sentimental goodbye videos, like, girl, it's okay to keep it inside. Do not let your emotions control you. You are in control of your emotions. And when you feel out of control, it means you need to take a step back. All right. But yeah, post-ban, I actually came back and I made a couple little videos if you want to go watch. I do miss the nostalgia aspect, like I said. It feels nice to get a creative spark back that I think that truly comes from a feeling of want, not need. It's okay if you need to step away or put the paintbrush down for a second and try something else out, but you'll always be called back. It was just so silly and so stupid. And yeah, overall, major dumb energy when it comes to the whole TikTok ban. 14 hours. Like you could have let it gone for at least a week or something. You could have let it gone a little bit longer, made people actually sweat. But when it comes to a narcissistic person, they want to be the savior too fast. And, you know, that facade is immediately broken. Please be aware of the power dynamics. You need to be smart. Please, I'm begging you. Anyways, the day I'm filming this is Monday. It is Inauguration Day. Oh, we don't have to talk about that. You know, we're here to have fun and share a little laugh and have a good fucking time. So we won't bring that up. But please be safe and smart out there as we move forward into the next 4 years. With that being said, those are really all my updates for the week. I didn't do a whole lot this weekend. Really just rested, relaxed, had a good time, ate a crab boil, took care of myself. What else can a girl do with a couple days off? Danger health update. He's doing good. I did panic, bring him to the vet again. Does anybody else have health anxiety? Not about yourself, but your pets? Like, I'm constantly Googling and researching, like, is this normal behavior? Is this okay? And he was just scratching himself a lot. I think he has environmental allergies from where I live. It's a very vintage old building, as you can tell from the ancient fireplace behind me. And I love it. It has a bunch of quirks, amazing. But also my neighbors downstairs smoke at least 2 packs inside a day, and I think his skin is itchy from that. So that's what the vet said. He also gave him flea medicine. He said he's healing up good from his abscess. You know, clean bill of health. We love it. Fantastic. I'm starting to look at houses a little bit, where I want to move, how I want to grow, change, and prepare for spring and summer so I can truly live my best life and navigate through the -9-degree weather that we are facing right now. Yeah. Oh, this winter. Why is it lasting so long? I hope you guys are staying hot and healthy, though. With that being said, enough of my rambling. Let's get into everything that's on your minds. I always ask like what the vibes are of the week, and someone said energetic cleanse, quit my job, full send, cut my nails, breaking ego to build it back up again. Real. I think some of you, and this goes for me as well, I'm not saying put yourself into a predicament, in order to grow. I don't want you to ever put yourself in a situation that is going to ultimately harm you in the long run because you didn't think it through. But there is something to be said about when you are entering or want to enter a new era of your life, when you're trying to bring newness in, you have to create space for it. Whether it is like, okay, I want a new job, let me go maybe take a day off work to apply to 15, 16, 25, 50 different places. Let me go in person. Let me call them. Let me take this one thing away to fill it with something else. Maybe it's, okay, I'm really trying to manifest love. Maybe I want to manifest love, a partner, a good person in my life. Let me get rid of every fuckboy in my roster. Let me cut every single one of them out. And whoever fills their place, whoever finds their way here, whoever, the universe gifts me after clearing space, clearing the negative out of my life, maybe that's someone I should possibly consider. It's like picking the weeds out of a garden. So then the plants that you did plant the seed of that do need to grow have room to do so. Tips on other things to fill the void in a healthy way now that TikTok isn't working. Well, it's working again, but I do think this was the jump scare some of you guys needed of being like, wow, how much of my time truly goes to an app that benefits me in 0 ways? What is going on? I'm kind of sad they didn't ban TikTok because a lot of you need a hobby or pick up a book, straight up. And I think the best way to do this and to kind of like supplement healthy things in a good way is to just be more aware of your habits and your behaviors. When you are unaware of your habits and behaviors, it's very easy to get caught up in the routine of it all, to forget what's going on because, when you're walking around with your fucking hand over your eyes, like, yeah, you can't see shit, bitch. You're not going to be aware. But even when it comes to like overspending, the men you're in love with, the apps that you're addicted to, what you're doing with your time, if you actually like your job, you have to be aware of what's going on. Specifically for me, this kind of revolves in the money aspect. I've really been into budgeting lately. So being aware of what money comes in, where money goes, giving myself a little bit of a budget, cutting back on spending, being overall aware of what the fuck my card is getting charged for. Because why am I subscribed to Amazon 3 times? That's sketchy as fuck. Let me cancel all 3 now, because why the fuck did you do that? When it comes to TikTok or being addicted to these social media apps, let me look at my screen time. How many hours on average am I using this app? Wow, that's crazy. I'm using it for 6 hours. That's too much time. I can allocate at least 1 hour of that time to something else, to a hobby, to knitting, to painting, to taking a class, to reading a book, to picking up a magazine, even going and running errands, whatever it is. You can kind of budget that hour a little bit into different things. And I highly recommend you paying attention to what you're doing, because the people who are in control of you, who do have the power, who do have the money, want you to not be paying attention. So consider it your own personal act of resistance and taking control of your life. Tips to eat healthier. I constantly find myself binging and need to stop. Okay, so yeah. I found myself in this really negative spiral when I was a vegan. I thought being a vegan was like the epitome of health. It was like 2016. Like, of course, that was the trend. Everybody was vegan to be healthy, to save the planet, whatever it may be. And a lot of that was me like, oh, I'm going to eat a healthy little salad and maybe an apple for breakfast and blah, blah, blah. Obviously not getting enough nutrients, obviously restricting. And then my body eventually hits a wall where it's like, bitch, you need to eat something, you're losing your mind. And then I would binge everything. I'd binge chicken sandwiches, I'd binge things that were not vegan. I would just go insane, and it is a very, very toxic cycle, which is why I'm here to tell you healthy is not less calories. Healthy is not like the only salads, only apples, vegan diet. I think McDonald's can be healthy. You're like, bitch, what? I think Chick-fil-A can be healthy. I think Chipotle can be healthy. I think pizza can be healthy. I think ice cream can be healthy. It is all about how much you're eating, okay? You can eat whatever you want. It is all healthy in the grand scheme of things. When you down 15 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, that's not healthy. But if you're having a craving and you need to fulfill a certain food group, it's okay to do so. I'm not going to say you only need to eat vegetables, you only need to eat organic, you only need to eat like these quote unquote healthy things, because you're going to end up in that binge cycle again, because you're not fulfilling your needs and your wants. You have to fulfill like both. It has to be kind of like this balancing act between the two, which is why I love the kind of 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I am eating whole foods. I'm going to try and, maybe have a yogurt bowl for breakfast, or a good oatmeal, something that is what I made. It is fairly healthy, but it's very filling. It's nutritious. Let me throw some frozen fruit on top of it. Let me have a green smoothie, whatever it is. For lunch, let me make sure I'm getting my protein in. I'm getting some greens. I'm getting some grains, whatever it may be. And then the 20% of the time, like, yeah, I'm going to face that frozen pizza to the dome, but I did good 80% of the time. So it's okay to indulge in these little things that I want. It's okay to go out and have my favorite fast food once a week. It's okay to have that bowl of ice cream at the end of the day. It truly is about balance, but restriction will never get you healthy. Restriction is never going to make you have a healthy relationship with food. You're going to start hating food. You're going to start hating yourself because you don't have enough energy. You're not getting enough energy. You're not getting any fulfillment. And then you're going to fall back into this binge cycle of, well, I'm just going to eat everything in my fucking kitchen because I haven't eaten in days. I feel like my body's about to shut down. I'm cranky. I'm hangry. It's such a self-negative cycle. It really is. Which is why I suggest cooking for yourself is the healthiest thing you can do. I don't care if you're cooking a homemade pizza. I don't care if you're cooking something quote unquote unhealthy. Simply making it for yourself and using whole ingredients in that way is going to make that unhealthy thing a little bit healthier. But yeah, I hate this idea that like, oh, you can only eat organic vegetables 24/7. Like that's the only way to be healthy. Bitch, fuck that. Eat what you want. I'm a big proponent of eat what you want. Cook as much as you can for yourself. Eat until you're full and then stop. That will help with the binging and restricting cycle. How do you feel about spending money specifically on hobbies that give you no financial return? It is a capitalist construct to believe that you should only be participating in hobbies that bring you financial return. No, the one way to kill your creativity is to put money in front of it. Sure, when it works out that, oh, I really enjoy doing this thing and I'm making money, this just happened to fall into my lap, fantastic. But when you pick up hobbies, which hobbies are supposed to be fun, enjoyment, escapism, connection to self, and you switch that and flip it and turn it into, oh, I need to finish this extra stitch because I need to make $25. I have to. You're going to kill that creativity. I highly encourage you to pick up a hobby. If you're going to pick up a hobby that you can't make money on, that you don't want to make money on, and truly just fulfills your soul. Have you ever worked as a chef? No, I have never worked in the back before. I've never worked in a kitchen because kitchens are one of the most toxic places ever to be a part of at all. They are so incredibly toxic. It's full of crazy male testosterone and way too much cocaine, and they're all screaming at each other. And bitch, if you put me back there and you expect me to allow these men to speak to me the way they speak to each other, I will quit on the spot. I will leave immediately. Absolutely. So no, I've never worked as a chef. I've never worked as a personal chef either, other than to my boyfriend when he throws down some crazy dick. Let's be real. No, I've never done that. I think, like I said, cooking is kind of a hobby that does bring me joy. I can kind of like zone out and put myself into something, maybe with a podcast in the background, maybe with some music, maybe with a movie, work on something, and then have something really delicious and tasty come out of it. Like the reels that I make, when it comes to like my cooking recipes, I don't make money off of those. I truly just hope to inspire more people to cook for themselves. I think there's so much you can take out of it, so many positives that you can take out of it, and most importantly, something really fucking delicious. I am posting a new recipe this week. It should be up either tomorrow or today, and it's one of my favorite recipes. I make this at least once a week. It's chicken curry katsu. Ooh, it's so good. It's so good. So easy. Delicious. Anybody can make it. Check it out. Instagram.com/Hannah Marlene. Why do you think men ghost? Can't figure out what gives them the audacity. Illy, love you. It's because they don't care. They don't give a fuck. They know that's the easy out. They know from childhood that when their mom starts yelling at them or starts wanting to have a hard conversation with them, they can just go upstairs and slam their fucking door closed and not have to talk about it. Yeah, that's basically what they're doing in your face. And it is disrespect. It is. It's very disrespectful, and I need you guys to be aware of that. I need you to be aware of these manipulative male behaviors. I need you to cut out the situationships because, girl, I cannot answer any more questions about them. It hurts my soul. Every time I hear of a girl that's in a situationship, literally an angel loses its wings. But when it comes to ghosting specifically and like, oh, I'm interested in this man, we went on a date, now he won't respond, it's because he doesn't care about you. It's not because he's playing this game. It's not because he's playing mind games. It's not because, oh, maybe he just forgot to text you. It's because he doesn't want to talk to you and he doesn't care enough to give you a reason why. I hate to give you that harsh answer, but please, if someone's going to be real with you, best believe it's going to be me. How can I forgive myself for past mistakes? How can I learn my lesson and move on? Ooh, I feel this. I really do. I used to be the girl who was like, I'd make a mistake, but then I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive and just aware that I would basically like beat myself over the head constantly about it. Like every single second of the day, months later, years later, it's me just being mean to myself and, keep bringing up the topic and hating on myself because of it. Oh, you were a bad person. You did this bad thing. You're a bad person. You did this bad thing. Like, whoa. Feeling guilty is not going to make you a better person. It's not. It is kind of a step in a right direction because the people who truly are bad people don't feel guilty in general about anything that they do. But I do think if you don't break that cycle of feeling guilty and actually like address the situation and move on, you are just as guilty as the people who don't give a fuck. Your suffering is not going to resolve the situation. Sometimes, listen, we are all human. We are all human beings. No one here is perfect. Every single person here has made a mistake. Every single person here has been a bitch, has been a bully, has been whatever you want to call it, whatever mistake you want to consider it. Every person here has done that thing. We are all human. It is normal. It's okay to feel guilty about the things that you did, but if you don't address it and say, you know what? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person doing these things. I feel bad. Let me take the step to apologize. It doesn't have to be, received, but at least I put myself out there, addressed it within myself, and kept moving forward. The best thing you can do to become a better person is know what you did wrong and not do it again. Not do it again. Those people who hurt you over and over and over again, they go, I'm so sorry, and they do it again. It's because they're not taking the time to learn within themselves. They're not taking the time to really address the problem. Some people know, they can say sorry really quickly, and then maybe that's going to resolve everything. I don't actually have to take accountability. Real accountability comes through your actions and what you do, what that lesson you take from it is, how you move in the future. Sure, you can live with this heavy, heavy guilt inside you forever, but that's not going to fix anything. The only thing that's going to fix that is in the future not continuing these negative behaviors and actions. Find peace in that. Find peace in tomorrow is a new day and a new opportunity to behave correctly. Your guilty conscience is not going to fix the situation. You taking the steps in the right direction and refusing to behave like that ever again is. Find peace and understanding that you always have the choice to do better. Period. Hannah, I fucked my roommate because I was drunk and now it's weird. Help. Listen, as a young, little sprout, little bean, when I was working in the restaurant industry, all my coworkers were fucking each other. I had no idea though. I mean, they were all 30. I was just like there to clock in and make money and leave. But they were all 30. They were all fucking each other. And the only reason I didn't know is because they didn't make it weird. There is this mindset where it's like, if I'm going to fuck somebody that I see every single day and have no attachment to, you have to be aware of that decision that you're making. And the decision that you're making is a commitment to not make it weird. Okay? It really is. So if you did a thing and it's kind of like I did a thing, not that big of a deal. Let's not make it weird. You gotta release the weirdness. You gotta just keep behaving as if everything's normal. You gotta keep behaving as if you're normal roommates. Oh, that was just a fun little one-off thing. Let's forget that. Let's keep moving forward. It's gonna suck at first. It's probably gonna feel like you're like slowly ripping a band-aid off, or it's a little awkward or uncomfortable. That's okay. Just keep moving forward. Because my coworkers worked so well with each other, had no idea they were all fucking each other because of the commitment to not being awkward about it. The commitment of like, we see each other and we don't want to ruin each other's lives, so let's just have our fun. And then when we clock into work or clock into being roomies, like, let's have that commitment to each other to not be weirdos. So it's okay to feel that weird energy, but like, don't run away. Don't start like treating them as an other or as this like mistake, because that's just going to make the roommate situation so much worse. Another reason why I'm like, don't fuck your coworkers, because a lot of people just don't understand how to have that boundary. It's hard to have casual sex. A lot of people are not good at having casual sex. I think it's kind of against human nature to engage in casual sex without emotions, like very naturally so. So if you're going to have casual sex, especially with somebody who you spend a lot of time with, be committed to not being weird. Help. How do I fix myself? Dare I say there is no fixing? You're like, no, bitch, like, I'm flawed. Everything's wrong with me. Is it? Or do you just need a fucking break? Do you just need a moment Do you just need a breather? I think all of us collectively kind of just need like a step away, a deep breath. Listen, I am a self-improvement podcast. Sure, I like to provide hope. I like to provide inspiration. I like to provide a little laugh here and there. But I don't want to like turn into a podcast where it's like you're doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong in that form of self-improvement. I think it's okay to address sometimes you just need to chill. You just need to exist. You don't always have to be working on yourself. You don't always have to think there's something wrong with you. Sure, change and growth is important, but in between those momentary shifts in change and growth, there is going to be downtime. It is what it is. I do think that when you're constantly trying to fix something, you're telling yourself it's broken, you know, when you're constantly like, but I need to change, but I need to do this, but I need to do this. You're constantly kind of like reinforcing this negative idea in yourself that it's like, I'm wrong. I'm not behaving correctly, even though you're doing good in life, which all of you probably are. All of you are probably in places that are really healthy and amazing. You need to address that. You don't have to constantly be looking towards the next thing, looking towards the next idea, fixing all of these made up problems in your head. Sometimes you just got to sit down and be like, damn, bitch, I'm proud of you. You did that. Let's take a little break. Let's take a breather. Let's enjoy this moment in time that we have managed to get to. Let's seek joy in this daily life, in this moment. Let's just try to have a little bit of fun. You know what I mean? Let's try and have a good time. You don't always have to be down on yourself or searching for something to fix or attempting to, you know, repair something or diving into yourself in these hard philosophical ways. Sure, if you're feeling up to it, absolutely. If you feel like you need to, go ahead. But make sure you're taking time to rest and enjoy that you have grown through hard things and you have put in the work and you've made it to where you are now. You aren't a problem to be solved, but a life to be experienced. Thoughts on Botox? I'm 25 and have some lines between my eyebrows that I hate. Help. Listen, 25, in my opinion, is too young for Botox. There is no such thing as preventative Botox. The girlies who get plastic surgery and have it look good is because they're doing it in the right timeline. And if you are under 30, I genuinely believe you don't need Botox. Now, if it's a medical reason, like I know you can use Botox for like too much sweating or certain things like that. Sure, if it's something that you and your doctor have come up with, fantastic. But if it's for cosmetic reasons, if you are under 30 and you keep getting so many injections, by the time you're mid 30s, where you still kind of should look young, you are going to look old as hell. There's one thing I've learned from all of these videos of like me dissolving all 800 milliliters of my filler and, you know, stopping my Botox. The people always look way younger after they do it. Now, I'm not against people getting a little thing here and there. If you want to get a little lip filler, if you want to get a little chin filler to, you know, up your self-confidence. I'm not one to yuck someone's yum, but if it's something so small as 2-3 centimeter creases between your eyebrows, I think you just need to take a step away from the mirror and stop paying attention to it so much. If you take a step away from the mirror, if you do your makeup 3 feet away from the mirror every single day, you will stop realizing, oh my God, those lines on my forehead. You'll stop noticing those things. I used to think like, oh my God, my pores are so big. My pores are so big. Like I need to do something about my pores. Girl, it's because you have a mirror 2 fucking inches from your face. In reality, no one is looking at your pores like that. It's just you. So there's a lot of things to keep in mind here. You know, have you tried like, working on your relation with yourself and, you know, the hyper fixation of little things about yourself? Like, have you tried to work on the hyper fixation of it all? Or is it genuinely something that's like really bothering you and something that is going to bring you like a little bit of peace, a little bit of self-love, a little bit of self-care, one might say. Really, really think about why you're doing it. I'm not against girls getting plastic surgery. I am against girls doing it because they feel bad about themselves and they feel the need to change themselves. It should come from a place of self-worth, not self-lack. I know in the future, though, I will be getting titties. I will be getting titties. I will be getting fake titties at some point. I don't know when I envision myself at like 35. It's with just like triple D massive boobs. I don't know why. Either they're going to naturally grow, which they might. My mom, I mean, has fantastic ones. She's like, you just got to get pregnant, girl. Like, they'll naturally come in. Oof. Ugh. Listen, it's cheaper to get a fake pair than it is to have a child. But I know probably I'll eventually do that. Maybe lip filler eventually. I don't know. It's something that I've always thought about, but also like, is it worth spending the money on? No, that's something you really got to think about. How to deal with creepy older coworkers hitting on you. You have to shame them. You have to shame them in public, especially. I had a coworker like this at the last place I worked. Weird, balding, constantly commenting about women. I don't know, very odd. We were both Geminis though, so like I understood how I could shame him, and the best way to do that was just in front of other people and have other people around, so when I made fun of him they laughed with me. You know, it wasn't just like us against each other. It was like, no, I need other people to be aware of your behaviors and how bad they are and how embarrassing it is for you. I remember one time, like, I went to the bathroom, I ripped my dab pen, was in there for a couple minutes. Like, bitch, we don't get breaks at work. Let me go rip my dab pen in peace and scroll on my phone for like maybe 2 minutes. And I came out and he was like, wow, you were in there a long time. Like, I timed you. Like, that's insane. And in front of a table that I was serving, plus like 3 of my other coworkers, I was like, you're a little freak. Why the fuck would you time me in the bathroom? That's such a weird thing to do. Like, fucking freak. And of course everybody around me laugh at him, tables rolling his eyes, he's getting flustered, he's walking away. People need to realize when their behavior is out of control and when we're not going to settle for that shit. When you awkwardly laugh it off and walk away, they feel empowered. I understand if you're non-confrontational, fantastic. But there's a difference between being non-confrontational and setting boundaries and allowing people to do certain things to you. So stand up for yourself, make fun of him, shame him. It's like the town fool. You got to take him into public and shame him a little bit. Boyfriend is back into corn addiction and said he's been in chat rooms. I want to throw up. You should throw up. You should throw up on his face, on his clothes, and then kick him the fuck out. This is not okay. This is step 1 before he starts, going out and seeing other women, hiring them, spending all of his money on OnlyFans, whatever it may be. You need to leave immediately. If this is what you want to settle for, then go ahead. You can be in love with somebody who is addicted to women and only sees them as sexual objects. If that's the kind of love you want to settle for, great. Good for you. Sounds like you got it. But I know you're here because you know you deserve more, and what you deserve is not going to come out of this man. Girl, dump him. Leave him immediately. You will feel so much more confident. Like I talked about in the beginning, like, it's okay if you're a bad person once. We're all bad people once. But when it happens again, and again and again and again and again, it's because they don't give a fuck and they don't care that they're a bad person. They're going to keep doing these things. You have to have pattern recognition, babe. He's not going to stop. He's going to continue doing these things. It's going to make you feel worser and worser. It's like staying with a cheater, Is this what you're deserving in life? Is this what you want in life? No, I know it's not, because you're here. You don't feel good about the situation. You're asking for help. The help has to come from you, and what you're going to do is get him the fuck out of your life. It will bring back the self-confidence that you maybe have lost in the relationship by standing true to who you are and what you deserve. Kick him out now. Now. There's no more time to waste. Sex on the first date. What do you think? Illy. I'm not against it. Some you from the way I talk about men and like sex and stuff, you would probably be like, no, like what? You're not against it? No, like when me and my boyfriend first met, we were fucking 4 hours later. Like it is what it is. It is what it is. We were both like crazy horny. Like we were feeling it. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. If you want to have a fun time, go ahead, have a fun time. Now, if I'm putting myself in my shoes now, and if I was single, and if I was currently dating at my 25-year-old age, would I have sex on the first date? Probably not, because I would want to maybe harbor a little bit more self-control. I would probably want to kind of understand motives a little bit more, get to know the person a little bit more, things like that. I was younger when I met my boyfriend. I was 20. I was on every drug imaginable. Like there was no self-control. Obviously, that's why it happened. But now in my more sane sort of headspace that I'm in, I probably would give it a couple dates, a little bit of time. I think it'll make the sex better. Sex on the first date, fun, fantastic. You're going to have a good time. But if you really want to have good sex, let that energy build up. Okay. Get fun, get flirty. Maybe give a little thigh grab on the first date and don't let him touch you. Like, let him sit there, let him stew. Oh, you hang out again, sexual energy is going to be off the charts. You're going to be flirting. You're going to want to touch each other. It's going to be so much better, I think, if you wait. Now, am I necessarily against you having sex on the first date? No. Do whatever you want with your body, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you think the situation calls for. But there needs to be some thought process behind it. And I do think the sex will be better if you, give it some time. Let that energy build. How to ride face? Girl. There shouldn't be much work when you're riding face, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know, have them lay down. Also, have them with like a pillow behind their head. Don't have them just like flat on their fucking back. And then the most comfortable position is not going to be like you on your knees with your hips up, like as if you're just like kneeling on your knees. You're gonna need to like sit a little bit. You could put your hands behind you and stabilize yourself on their chest, and then you're kind of like leaning back in that sort of sense, like almost if you're on your knees and then squatting as if you're almost sitting with your butt kind of on their neck and chest, and then with your hands behind you to kind of like elevate yourself up a little bit, almost like a hip bridge. Are you seeing the picture of what I'm describing here? So don't like your legs are gonna give out. Like when you're getting your pussy ate, like you should not be engaging in any muscles. You're gonna spasm out. Your legs are gonna get tired. Duh. So you're gonna have to like sit a little bit. I'm not saying sit your pussy on his face so he's not breathing. I mean, if that's what you're into, fantastic. But it's more of like a lean back sit. So then they got all the access. All right. And you shouldn't be doing much work. I mean, you can grind a little bit, but they should be putting in most of the work. How do you stay unbothered and let unself-aware bitches not get in your headspace? I started viewing them just as like little chihuahuas who are like barking at your feet. It's like, bitch, you're loud, high-pitched, running around, sure, but you're still beneath me down there making a lot of noise, and that's more embarrassing than it is for you than it is for me. It's like annoying little dog yapping. They have no actual like power against you. They can't really harm you. They have teeny tiny little teeth. Like if they do end up biting you, it's kind of like, oh, nothing, let me put a band-aid on and put you in timeout. Yeah, you kind of have to view it that way. Especially when it comes to people who like see you and see your energy and want to steal from it, like are jealous and then wanting to bring you down. You always have to be aware of that. You got to be like, you know what? They're existing in hell, but I don't have to exist in hell with them. And when they're behaving in behaviors that are their attempt to pull you down with them, I think it's really important to address those things and be like, that's weird. That's weird. Why would you say that? No, I actually don't think that about myself. Wow, I can't believe you think so little of yourself. I think a lot of it comes from people talking shit on themselves in hopes that you then talk shit about yourself to them. So then they kind of have some dirt on you. I feel like there's a lot of bonding that low vibrational people have when it comes to self-hatred, and refusing to engage in those behaviors, as well as calling them out on talking shit about themselves. Like, wow, I think you're great. I don't know why you would say anything like that about yourself. Wow, I would never say anything like that about myself. You know what? I think I'm a little bit better than that. I don't know why you feel that way about me. It really kind of like flips the script and makes them think more about what they're doing than thinking about you. Girl, serving tips, please. Just started. We pool tips at my place. We also pool tips at my place. And if I'm going to give you one piece of advice about tip pooling, if you don't know, if you're not a server, tip pooling is where everybody works for the tips and they all go into like basically a big pile, and then everybody gets paid equally. If you are at a tip pool place, you should see a breakdown of every single person's tips based on hour weekly, and they should be emailing that to you. If they're not doing that, it is illegal. Also, if somebody is clocked in as a manager and is making tips, that technically is illegal. Be aware of your rights, especially when it comes to your money. That's my one piece of advice. Being 25 but not knowing what I'm doing with my life. Feels like I'm 18 again because I'm still lost. I hate to say it. That's what 25, 26 is about. So your early 20s, here's how it goes. You're, 18 to 19, awkward adult phase, have no clue who you are. That's okay. You're not supposed to. You basically are just focusing on living and breathing at that point in time. 21, I feel like is all about like being a little crazy. 21 especially, you're going out to bars, you're having a good time in that sort of sense. You're like allowing yourself to be a crazy adult. Almost to 22 to 23 is kind of like, all right, girl, let's get our shit together. Let's actually start focusing on school. Let's start focusing on jobs. Let's start like dreaming of the future. And then 25, 26, you kind of hit this reset where it's like, all right, I went through the 18 different emotions of becoming an adult, and now I feel a little bit more settled. I do think 25 and 26 is kind of the time where it's like the real reset. When you're younger, you feel that pressure, but when you're 25, 26, it's like, all right, frontal lobe formed. I'm a little bit more stable now. I've gotten the crazies out of the way. I've figured out who I am a little bit more. So the decisions that you do make now feel a little bit more true to yourself and will get you further than the decisions that you make when you're really, really young. So you are probably feeling that pressure. It's okay though, because you can handle it. You're not going to figure it out today, but lean into those little dreams that you do have. When you envision 30-year-old you, what is she doing? What is she wearing? What is she participating in? What are her hobbies? Start small, but start implementing all of those little things. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week. Start small, like I said, so then you can achieve the bigger, more harder things. But most importantly, don't be afraid to go after your dreams. The only person standing beside you is you. The only person able to accomplish these things are you. And sure, that can feel like a lot of pressure, but I feel like it truly should take the pressure off of you because you already have the answers. They're already inside yourself. And let me give you a little trick here. The answers are not something you can sit around and think about. The answers come from doing it, trying it, attempting new things, putting yourself into new ideas and positions, and trying out for that job, trying this hobby, whatever it may be. That is the trick to learning who you are, where you want to go, and accomplishing your dreams. So yeah, you're probably feeling that pressure, but don't let it overtake you into like submission, into not doing anything with your life. I guess this last portion of the podcast, we can talk a little bit astrology updates, because I keep getting questions like, what the fuck is going on? Love you, stay safe. Love you. Thank you for the kind words. There is a lot going on, and that's why a lot of people are probably feeling a little awkward or weird or like we're living in a different timeline. What the fuck's going on? I do think this is the start to a big transformation that we will all be a part of. And the best thing you can really do is take accountability for yourself. Make sure yourself is safe, your loved ones are safe, your neighbors are safe. And strap in. I think that's really all we can do right now. I uploaded an astrology update on Patreon. If you want to become a Patreon member, I love to have you. Patreon.com/smokeseshawty. But right now we have the sun in Aquarius. Yes, we are entering the flow of Aquarius season. During this cycle, we are motivated by our hunger for knowledge, experience, and originality. Innovation is more important to us than convention. We become more aware of what is outdated in our lives and strive to find new perspectives and new ways to do things. The class distinction, structure, and order that Capricorn finds appealing, which we were just in, now seems to be too rigid. The freedom of the individual becomes far more significant to us. We strive to free ourselves from some of the restrictions, inhibitions, and limitations that now feel constraining rather than safe. We're ready to change the world with new ideas. We often let our heads lead over our hearts during this time, preferring a rational approach to life. We also have Venus in Pisces. We will be experiencing this transit January 2nd. So we've kind of been in it, but it'll go until February 4th. And then we will also experience it again end of March to end of April. Pisces is a very dreamy or otherworldly sign, so be prepared for borders and boundaries to blur or for falling in love with an idealized image of something or someone. It's in Venus, so be aware of exes crawling out of the woodworks. Maybe some weird dreams you're having, weird thoughts popping up. You do not always have to act on every single thought or dream that you have, Little Miss Pisces. It's devoted, compassionate, exceptionally giving, and capable of sacrifice. We might refer heavily on our intuition with our finances and love life during this cycle. We gravitate to and appreciate unusual, tossed aside, poetic, artistic objects, situations, and people. We seek activities that move, inspire, or touch us. This transit is not particularly strong for resolve or determination, but it's good for adaptability and increased understanding or acceptance. I've talked a bit about this, but Mars is in Cancer. Okay, January 6th till April 18th. It is a Mars retrograde until February 23rd. We're very intuitive and can be moved to take action to bring peace or comfort and safety to our lives during this period. We go to bat for our loved ones. In fact, we're fiercely protective. It's a powerful period for putting ego matters aside so that we can push forward on our plans. Inner satisfaction and love are genuinely more important to us than outer achievements at this time. Personal and domestic goals are our priority during this phase. Check in with self. Do not let emotions overtake you. Do not release all of your secrets out into the void for no personal reason, okay, other than maybe you're just feeling emotional at the time. Be aware of your emotions, where they're leading you, and stay safe. Venus and Saturn are aligned, which can be good for analyzing, reasoning, and making sense of the world around us. Thus, the kind of general consensus of what the fuck happened with TikTok. Everything about that. But we are inclined to simplify by eliminating non-essentials and paring things down without compromising the message. Responsibility, maturity, quality, and simplicity are attractive to us now. While we can be conscious about expressing ourselves and our feelings, we're paying more attention to being sincere, honest, and precise. This time can make hard things feel a little bit more reasoned, easier to digest and accomplish. Whether it's love, self, home, we are getting it in order and not living in this fantasy land anymore. We are searching for more and taking care of what we have. It's a good time to delve into a new hobby, clean your home, do that self-care routine. Everything is on the right track, I promise. You cannot let the chaos of the world around you distract from truly what is important to you, what drives you, what motivates you, and ultimately what helps you grow. I love you. Hopefully we have a fantastic rest of our week. I got my car hit at work on Wednesday. Super fun. Thank you. Thank you, Queen, for doing that. I do have your license plate. I will be sending you a letter in the mail. I do need my $30 for a new mirror. Yeah, bitch. Anyways, I was not going to let that distract me. It did happen at 5 p.m. as soon as we opened. Best believe I finished my shift. I didn't turn into a bitch or a raging cunt like all the other people in my work would when one minor thing happens. It's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It happened. It is what it is. Let me focus on me and maintaining my positivity. So I have to go over to my parents' house. My dad has to fix a few things on my cars. I love my dad. Thank you for being able to help me in that sort of way, because I know nothing about cars. I also have my boyfriend for that reason. Like, if I need something done with my car, best believe he's on it. Yes, we love a man around here. So I'm going to do that. My boyfriend bought me also a massive tub of lentil soup from my favorite Mediterranean spot. So I'm going to eat a shit ton of that for lunch, edit this podcast, smoke some weed. I know I didn't smoke with you guys today. It's because I got to go see my parents and actually function after this. But smokable for me, sending you all love during this time. Stay sane, stay smart, stay sexy, and I'll see you all very soon. Mwah.